Crawf, have you got a good side?
Yeah, left.
Oh, I don't know if I do. I thought mine was left.
No, left.
Left?
Absolutely.
This won't work. If
Looks
we're both
so
left.
much younger on this side.
You reckon?
It's 360, yo, yo, yo!
Mr. Shane Crawford,
Yes?
you are in the spotlight.
Oh, Jesus! Let's do it.
Yay, this is so much fun. This is the House of Wellness with Shane Crawford.
Oh, and Melissa Doyle, everybody. How good. Melissa Doyle is
This
here
is so
in the
fun.
salmon.
Oh, thank you. It's
Do you call it
pink,
salmon?
Isn't it pink?
Oh, pink, OK.
And you've got plum. Is that plum?
I've got two.
Wow.
OK.
Explains a lot. A lot to look forward to today. We are going to learn a lot about Crawf's sleepwalking.
Oh.
Apparently, like, mega sleepwalking, though. I've got so many questions.
I thought you were going to say something else because you made me play Murder Ball, which I'm going to tell everyone about a little bit later in the show.
Yay. I
Yay.
made you.
You do.
But before all of that, please give it up for Evie Jones and Dr Ahmed Kazmi. Hi, guys. What does Evie do tonight in Evie Does It?
Oh, this is a personal one today, so I won't give too much away, but if you love your pets, this one's for you.
I know what the doctor's up to because we have the new Medical, which we're absolutely loving. I was a part of it.
You were, yeah.
So I was the guinea pig, although unbelievably professional.
Yeah, this week we're going to be talking about the very important subject of skin checks and mole mapping.
Oh, does that mean you had to map his mole?
Yes. I know him really well now.
Really well.
Anyway, we've got plenty to get stuck into, but
really?
here is Mel
Yes, hang on, go to the
with
kitchen.
tonight's headlines from around the globe. Go get 'em, Mel.
Yes, it is your wrap of the strangest health and wellness headlines out there. It's news you can use, but probably shouldn't. First up, let's start our engines and head to friend of the show, Azerbaijan, for a traditional bath in crude oil. That's right, get ready to really, and I mean really, abide by the no smoking policy as you fight back the panic and try to relax in what feels like a tub full of petrol. If you think you've been copping it at the pump, spare a thought for these operators paying to fill up multiple bathtubs with premium. Yikes. Locals call the black goop the thick blood of the earth, while fans of the centuries-old cleanse say it's giving your general health and immune system a boost. Doubters say it's just giving nightmare. But this has really lit up Azerbaijan's wellness scene. Sadly, a few of the facilities have also lit up. Speaking of potentially dangerous, I wouldn't be doing my job as a serious journalist if I didn't share with you the latest insane Japanese face toning products out there. So, you've got your Super Age Max facelift stretching mask with accompanying exercises. But if that's a bit pricey, you can just spring for this budget face bra version. Next, why not just clip on this electric DIY nose straightener and buzz your way to the perfect profile. Or if you're chasing a more toned face, you can't go past the vibrating facial yoga skin tightener exercise device. Oh, airport security didn't know what to make of that thing when it went off in my handbag. I already know, though, what I am getting you guys all for Christmas. Finally, let's keep it weird, because if you're looking to get fit while also embracing your inner child, giddy up to Finland, the birthplace of your new favourite sport, competitive hobby horsing. Yes, you can experience the thrill of a canter generated by your own little legs as you gallop and leap towards your fitness goals in a cutthroat competition. So trot away from your hang-ups about looking like a bit of a goose and soar through the sky in a world of imagination. Unfortunately, that last competitor twisted her ankle and they had to bring out the blue screen. Oh. But the good news is I think we found our next crash test Crawf. And that was Worldwide Wellness.
Oh, how good is that? That's outstanding. I want to do that. Next, we're going to hit the snooze button. And yes, we're going to learn more about sleepwalking. Oh, how good. See you after the break.
Well, I feel like doing something a little bit different right now because I love it when journos turn up the heat and
Yeah.
really give someone a good grilling.
We love that.
Mr. Shane Crawford, you are in the spotlight. Hi.
Oh, hang on. No, I don't love that. What do you mean?
I've found out that you sleepwalk.
Huh, yes, I do.
Wow.
I sleep talk, I sleepwalk.
God.
I've got a lot of issues.
Wow.
Yes.
But, like, how severe is the sleepwalking? Are we talking just getting up and sitting up in the middle of the night, or are we talking...
These days, not as bad as I used to be, especially when I was extremely active. I don't know if it's something to do with my mind, but yes, no, I've done a lot of sleepwalking. I sleepwalked when I lived in an apartment and I woke up the other end of the apartment, realised I'd been sleepwalking, turned on all the lights, and I couldn't find any of my linen. So obviously, during my sleepwalk, I'd hidden all my linen, which was in a hidden cupboard behind a water cooler, and it took me 3 days to find my linen.
Oh, my goodness.
That was just one. I sleepwalked on a plane once when luckily my friend guided me back because I broke some glasses and all the other passengers thought something was going on. When I went to Ireland and represented this great country of ours, the very first night in Dublin, I was rooming with one of my Hawthorn teammates, Angelo Lekis, and I forgot to tell him that sometimes I sleep talk and sometimes I sleepwalk, only for him to wake up during the middle of the night, for me to be standing over him naked, and he was in bed going, "What's going on? Go back to bed, go back to bed." And obviously I woke up at the end of it. But it was a very scary fright, because when you're standing over someone naked, yelling at them and screaming, he had no idea what was going on. And it wouldn't have been a good sight when you're looking up and all you see is testicles looking straight at you.
But if he didn't know that you slept and
Yes.
talked, what did he think was going on?
He was traumatised the next day, and I felt so sorry for him. It even got to a stage where I was sleepwalking way too much that I felt like I needed to strap myself to the bed because I got a little concerned that I was going to injure myself or wander off. I ran into a brick wall once. I obviously thought I was going for a run and I woke myself up because of how hard I hit the brick wall, and that might explain a few things.
Well, let's find out. We have a sleep expert, Dr Linda Schachter.
Oh.
Boy, do we have some questions for you. Oh, that was a regular walkout. You're wide awake with us. Is my mate here normal?
Should I be worried?
It depends on how severe the problem is. So, listening to what you've actually done previously, have you ever hurt yourself or someone else?
Yeah, there's been times where I've been a little scared, or even going out onto some balconies when I used to live in an apartment. I was found on a balcony on a chair, yelling out and guided back in. And then after that, I started hiding the keys. Like, even now, if I stay at a hotel and it has a balcony, I barricade myself in. Is that normal?
Well, if you sleepwalk, it's actually a prudent thing to do because you've got to make sure that the environment's safe for sleepwalkers. So locking yourself in the room, making sure the key's not easily accessible because, so that is actually important to do so it's safe, the environment for you.
So what would the circumstances, like why would Crawf do this? Would it have anything to do with, I don't know, there's times in your life or your footy career?
We had a family history of a lot of sleepwalkers.
Like you all get up in the middle of the night.
We all get up and go and get our steps in.
So there is a genetic predisposition for doing it, but there are other circumstances that do bring it on. So sleep deprivation, being stressed, other sleep disorders, so sleep apnea, so if you snore or stop breathing, restless leg syndrome, so other sleep disorders that cause broken sleep or sleep fragmentation will cause it. Certain medications will do that. That we know with certain sleeping tablets that there is an increased risk of sleepwalking and sleep talking. And there are some antidepressants will also increase the risk. Also, alcohol may do it and some illnesses.
Are you fully asleep or are you in this weird, like, half twilighty state, or are you fully asleep?
If you think about parts of your brain, So one part of your brain, so that's the part of your brain that actually does movement, is awake. The other part of your brain, which is consciousness, is actually asleep. So it's actually a disconnect between the different parts of your brain. So you're doing semi-purposeful behaviours, but you're actually asleep.
And is it true that you should never wake a sleepwalker?
Well, it depends on the circumstance, because if somebody's on a chair on a balcony, you should wake them up. Because if it's unsafe or the person's going to do something that is obviously going to hurt themselves, you would actually wake them up.
Well, is it common?
So about 5% of kids have it and about 2% of adults have it.
Oh, okay.
So it does happen, and usually most kids do grow out of it, but some people don't.
Always a kid at heart, so that might explain a lot. So, can I be fixed? Do I need to strap myself to the bed?
Are we talking about sleep? Or are we
Yeah, good question. We haven't got that much time.
No.
There are definitely things you can do to try and improve it. And then if you are in circumstances where it's dangerous, it should be treated. And there are medications that we use to reduce it.
No, we really appreciate
Yes.
all this. You've helped a lot. I think you've explained to a lot of people who have always been a little concerned about me. Would you please thank Linda Schachter?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Linda.
Wow. After the break, we look at how pets are not just our furry mates, but part of the family. Crazy.
Welcome to the House of Wellness.
And we've got Evie Jones with us and Pet Doula, Dr Anupam Sharma.
Thank you.
You're an actual vet
Yes.
as well, yeah, so
That's
you're not
correct.
just a pet doula.
That's correct.
You know, for many of us, our pets are our family. Yet the grief of our little mate's passing is often minimised. I lost 3 dogs just this past year, all for different reasons. Oh, there's my Potato. Sissy was my big girl, Potato was my little girl, and Autumn is the cavalier there. It was really devastating, obviously, to lose each and every one. And it led me to discover about pet doulas. What exactly is a pet doula?
A pet doula does more than just the clinical side of things. So the clinical side comes from, you know, your veterinarian, your local vet, your specialists and things like that. So a pet doula goes a little bit beyond that. A pet doula addresses the pet family's emotional needs, preparation for euthanasia at home, also providing grief support after the pet has transitioned. We also go into people's homes. You can come into palliative care and also graduate from it, which is very different to hospice, which is very much end-of-life care. So with palliative care at time of diagnosis, we go in, we help the families adjust to their new diagnosis and learn how to nurse their pets at home.
When should you contact a pet doula?
At the earliest point, soon after the diagnosis.
Right.
Yeah, because that's when you need their assistance more, and we can come up with a crisis plan, but also come up with a long-term plan in terms of management.
There's a lot more pets being really regarded as our family members.
100%. The dogs have definitely gone from backyard to bedroom, and people are a lot more bonded with their pets. Pets are living longer because we look after them a lot better. Better nutrition, better level of care.
They can even go on planes too these days.
They can go on
Yeah.
planes. People want to travel with their dogs. They want to take their dogs and have these experiences and share those experiences with their dogs because they're so bonded. So when it comes to end of life, you know, it's just silly for a lot of people or members of public who dismiss it or minimize the grief that a lot of people feel because it's very real.
Do animals show you that they're ready to pass?
I think some very much communicate it very, very clearly to their owners. I feel like it's one of those things, it's kind of like having a soulmate. It's a sixth sense.
Yeah.
The person who is very bonded to the dog, they just know. They communicate in their own way and we pick up on it because we are so close to them at another level.
I have a lot of people on Instagram messaging me saying, Evie, how will I know? And I say to every single one, you will know.
You will know.
I promise you will know.
Yeah.
Because they are your your family.
Absolutely.
Can I ask the steps that you would take? So if somebody was to contact you,
Yes.
their pet is showing the signs, they know that the time is coming, what do you then do?
I start by a clinical evaluation. So I usually send them a pre-visit questionnaire. They tell me a little bit about their pet and they tell me which clinics they've been to. Then I acquire their clinical records. Once I've done the clinical evaluation, I go to their home because it's the most comfortable setting for the families, but also the most comfortable setting for the pet. They're less stressed and I can see the family in their home environment. And then we talk about why they believe that their pet is fading or things have changed. What are the changes? What can we do about it? Is it pain? Have we not addressed something? And anything that we haven't addressed, we address it. But otherwise, when it is truly time, I sit down with the family and just first and foremost make sure that they're all on board. Because oftentimes you'll have different opinions from different family members. So talking that through, you basically work as a counselor to the family members and make sure that they're comfortable with the idea that it's time for Fluffy to cross the rainbow bridge.
And then we celebrate their life
Yes.
through death. You must have seen some pretty amazing funerals.
I've seen all kinds of things.
Yeah.
I most recently went to a friend's place and laid her dog to rest. She threw a party. She had a party with all of the dog's favorite people who came over. And then we all said goodbye and we laid him to rest and then champagne and caviar. And they just threw a party in his honor. A lot of religious funerals, a lot of funerals involving alcohol. Oftentimes, you know, we will delay a passing of a pet by a day or so because we're waiting for family from interstate or internationally. They're all flying down to be there because it's a big thing for people because they're so bonded. And dogs and cats and other pets are a huge part of our lives.
For me personally, I honestly believe that you should get a pet, another dog or cat, depending on what you've lost, sooner than you think. You know, everyone is different, but what's your opinion on that?
Very, very individual things.
Yeah.
So there are definitely people out there who need to take a bit of a break because I feel like everyone's grieving process is very different. And if you're not ready to have another pet, obviously don't force yourself to do it. You know, maybe foster, maybe volunteer, walk the dogs at the shelters, you know,
I'm
go
all
visit
for
the
that.
shelters and the right animal will find you.
Always.
They always find you.
If you trust, they do.
Yep.
Well, please thank Dr Ahmed Sharma.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being
Really
here.
appreciate it.
Thank you, Evie,
Yes.
for
so
sharing
welcome.
your stories and, Oh, it's a bit sad.
It is, but we appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
After the break, Mel stitches me up in this week's Crash Test Crawf. You gonna stitch me up again? Come on.
It is now time for this. I will admit I was so excited for this Crash Test Crawf because I actually got to choose the challenge and spring it on you. But I really wanted to put the crash into Crash Test Crawf.
Well, you definitely did that. It was almost Crash Test Corpse. Check it out. Rugby is very similar to AFL. A few blokes, some tackling and some scoring. I got this in the bag. Why am I in a basketball arena? Riley.
How are you, buddy?
Oh, I've worked it out. Mel.
Yeah, you thought you were coming to do some rugby, but, mate, you're going to be sitting down in one of these bad boys playing wheelchair rugby with us.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Let's see if you can get in that
So I'm
bad
still
boy.
doing rugby,
You are?
just a little differently. So what do you love about it?
Oh, mate, the sport of wheelchair rugby, what can't you love? It's letting me accept my disability.
Yep.
I was born with my disability. I was a bit embarrassed about my disability growing up, and it just gave you that sport that you could participate in, you could exceed in. It's given me so much.
Well, I've got a feeling you might have a new stealer part of your team after you see my performance today.
I can't wait, mate.
I'm a bit scared, actually.
All right, Crawf, so I've seen your skills in AFL and I've seen how much you dropped that ball, so I'm going to give you some gloves today.
Yes.
And we put a belt on because when I run into you later on,
Ooh.
I don't want you flying on my lap. I want you being with the chair and tipping over. So belt yourself in.
That's
gloves
after,
are on.
that's after the game. All right, game time.
You're on the Australian gold team. Whack that on,
little
mate.
ripper. Reminds me of the Hawks days.
Hey, it does.
The rules sound simple. Cross the line through the cones and score a point. First team to score 3 points wins. The tough bit is actually scoring. This is war. I'm petrified.
Protect me! Protect me all the way, I think. Don't let him get near me. Oh, shoot! No! Help!
He's so violent. It's like bumper cars.
That's it. Look for the pass. That's it.
Oh! Where did he come from?
Pick it up. How do you pick it up?
Oh, shit.
Keep going.
Oh! Geez, I thought the footy field was bad, but this is next level. Brutal. Oh! Jesus!
There you go. I'll let you get a goal. I'll let you get a goal.
Yes! He's violent! He's violent! Oh! Oh, what's up? I've still got the ball!
Oh, game over.
That was great. Well done.
No, mate, you actually surprised me. I thought you were going to be a lot worse, but you actually did all right, OK? Not bad. That's
Do you reckon I could be a part of the team?
in a couple of years in training, maybe, but yeah, right now, definitely not.
You've
Sorry,
given me a
mate.
bit of hope. Melissa Doyle, I've got a bone to pick with you.
Oh, jeez! Leave Mel out of this.
Thanks, Riley. Thank you. He's got my back. Oh, my gosh, that was amazing. Isn't he one of the all-time greats? 6 Paralympic Games. He is incredible. Whoa, that was tough.
You can see why they call it murder ball.
Yeah.
They definitely wanted to take me out, but they were so fast and agile and fantastic, and I'm a Steeler. Go the Steelers. I'm on board with the Steelers.
No injuries, you didn't hurt yourself, nothing happened?
I was emotionally injured as I drove back down the highway thinking, what just happened? I was ambushed and I loved it.
Wow. I think that is a crash test Crawf win.
Yes!
Woo! So it's 2 wins and 1 loss.
OK, there you
You
go.
have to write this on the wall so I remember.
Never been good at maths, so I'm at 50%, yeah?
OK, yeah.
OK.
I'll just go along with it. Let's go to something gentler. Our next guest started her career as a fashion stylist, but she has since expanded her focus on how we look to include what we cook.
So to tell us how she ended up neck deep in fermented foods, it's the beauty chef, Carla Oates.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome.
I love that your name is associated with food when you're the beauty chef, you know?
I spent a lot of
Carla
time
Oates.
thinking about, I know, it would be terrible if it was like trans fats or something as the last name. So, yeah, very happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
So the transition from fashion to
Yeah.
fermented, not your logical path.
No.
Tell us how it all began for you.
So my mum was a fashion editor and she was in magazines, and so it was just this natural kind of progression because I loved fashion, I loved writing, but I had eczema and allergies as a child and a teenager, and it was quite chronic. And my mum took me to see a naturopath. Like, you know, prior to that, we went through all the conventional routes, and I had all the different creams and topical kind of pharmaceutical creams that didn't really work. And so I went and saw a naturopath, and she eliminated certain foods from my diet that I was allergic to and introduced other supplements and foods. And so from a very young age, I understood that connection between what we eat and how we feel and how we look. My eczema cleared up, I felt better, I had more focus at school. And so I always wanted to get into something that helped people. I felt very passionate. And so then fast forward years later, I was a journalist in magazines and I was writing about beauty, and I got sent all these beauty products. And a lot of them had these chemicals in them that I thought, these aren't good for people. These chemicals in mass market skincare products. And so I thought, and looking after your skin really from my experience is an inside out job. And so I quit the newspaper and I made it was my vision and mission to educate people about how to look after their skin in a more holistic way.
And now you're dominating the world. And you've used your family as test subjects.
Yes. My daughter, fast forward years later, she's 28 now, but when she was about 10, she suffered from eczema and allergies, so she has that family predisposition. And so I eliminated foods that I had were triggers for me, like gluten and dairy, for example. And I looked at this research, which was really interesting. I love researching, I'm a bit of a nerd. I looked at this research that looked at the connection between certain types of gut bacteria and allergies and eczema. I realised that there was this connection between the gut and the skin. So I put my whole family on a gut healing protocol, which was around, eliminating certain foods, but introducing lacto-fermented probiotic-rich foods to look after your gut health. And then I was giving my fermented foods that I was making, like kombucha and kefir and sauerkraut, to all my friends and family. Now, my daughter's skin completely changed, and she didn't have the eczema outbreaks that she was having. She, again, more focused at school. She felt better and her allergies subsided. So I really knew that I was onto something. Yeah. So in 2009, I brought out Glow in a Beauty Powder. 16 years later, now we've helped over 2,000 people with their gut health and their skin health, which we're very proud of at The Beauty Chef. It's awesome. And I love the fact that science has caught up with nature. There is so much research in the area of the gut microbiome and the incredible connection between not just the gut and the skin, but the gut and the brain, gut and metabolism, gut and immune health. I'm really privileged. I work with the most amazing team of people. So I work with a team of microbiologists, naturopaths and nutritionists. We actually opened up our state-of-the-art fermentation plant in Sydney around 8 years ago, which means that we can really optimise our formulas and we have more control over the process so we can do more research.
We've loved having you here.
Yeah, thank you.
You've used a lot of words that we've never used before. Please give it up for beauty chef Carla Oates. Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Thanks so much.
After the break, Crawf gets his kid off for Ahmed. Thank you. That was great.
We're back and we've got Dr Ahmed Kazmi with our medical. Looking beautiful.
Can't look at you the same way now that I've seen you, like, fully naked. So,
Explain why you saw him fully naked. Maybe that's a good start.
Yes, so we know that Australians love the sun,
Yep.
and with the sun comes lots of good things, but also comes certain risk and certain responsibility. And one of those is obviously the increased risk of skin cancer. And so part of the management of that is to have regular skin checks.
Yes.
And you might find it interesting to know that 2/3 of adult Australians haven't had a skin check within the last year, and 30% have never had one.
Really?
Why do you think that is?
I think for a lot of people, it's that they just don't understand the importance. They don't recognise that Australia is the melanoma capital of the whole world, and that, 2 out of 3 adult Australians will probably have a skin cancer during their life, so...
Well, lucky you checked him out.
Yes.
Let's have a look, see how it went.
Oh, well done.
I don't normally hug my doctors, but I need this.
Oh, that's so good. Don't worry, I'm so pleased you could make time for this. So
I'm nervous.
Come through, don't worry. We will look after you. You're in good hands, OK? You wore clean underpants, yeah?
Have to wear underpants?
So as far as you know, you've never been diagnosed with any form of skin cancer?
No.
No BCC, SCC, melanoma?
No.
Have you ever used sunbeds or solariums for an artificial tan?
Do you want me to answer this properly?
Yes, it's OK.
Yes, I did. Back in the day,
If you had to count the number of times you've used a sunbed, would you need 1 hand, 2 hands, or...?
More than 2 hands.
That's a definite
Yes, a
risk.
lot.
Yeah, that does push up your risk. And when was the last time you had a skin check, Crawf?
Maybe 20 years ago.
Well, that's a long time ago. All right, Crawf, before we do your mole mapping, I'm going to do your manual skin check. Okay. So I'm going to leave the room, and you can undress, and I'll come back and we'll have a good look, and then we'll see if anything catches my eye.
OK. I've never fist-pumped my doctor before. That's quite crazy.
OK, Crawf, I'm just going to talk you through what I can see, OK?
Yes.
So I can see you've had a reasonable amount of sun exposure in your life, so your skin's manifesting lots of sun-related aging and changes. So if you look at the back of your neck, you've got some really deep lines. That's called solar elastosis, and it's a form of wrinkling from loss of elastin from sun damage. And then you've also got a lot of red mottling behind your ears and on the side of your neck. That's called poikiloderma, and that's also from excessive sun exposure. And you've got this sort of carpet of small brown spots over your sun-exposed areas that are called solar lentiginous. The good news is, I can't see any obvious skin cancers. Do you want to show me the one that you were worried about?
Well, there was one here.
Yeah.
There's always been a worry for me.
And I'm just gonna mark this one with a pen. But no, it's totally harmless. And I'm just gonna mark that for the photographer.
And so I'm going to this thing.
Is the machine. Come through.
This looks like I'm getting scanned into NASA.
Pretty much,
So,
yeah.
so how does it work? What is it?
So it's actually a cluster of 92 cameras. And they photograph you all simultaneously from pretty much every angle and then stitch them together to make a 3D impression of your whole body.
Wow.
So it's pretty clever.
And 1, 2, 3.
So many flashes. Reminds me of the 1999 Brownlow medal. No more photos, thank you. No more photos.
Okay, Crawford, let's have a look at your images.
Okay, that was quick.
Yeah, it actually only takes about 2 seconds to take the images and only 7 minutes to upload them.
7 minutes? I've waited longer for a coffee.
So you can see here, I can get a full 360-degree view of you.
Wow.
And then I can zoom in to any bits that I want. And this is how much I can zoom in.
Jeez.
Pretty impressive, eh? And then any lesions that I selected or you drew attention to, we get a close-up picture of that.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I know. So that's 10 times magnification to the naked eye. And the beauty of this, where it's so well 3D mapped, means that in subsequent years, when you come back, we can monitor and track much more easily.
That's so clever.
All right, that's you all done, Crawf.
That was quick and painless.
Good, I should hope so. So keep up your good work with the sun protection. Anything growing, changing, bleeding should prompt a visit to your doctor. And otherwise, we'll see each other again in 1 year, not 20 years. Deal?
Deal. Oh, deal.
Thank you. See you.
Wow, doctor.
Wow.
So professional,
amazing.
so good at his job. Quick process, it really was.
If you can't go and step into one of those amazing machines and someone's watching, what are the things to keep an eye on? Like, what's the difference between a mole and a freckle that I've got some, you know, sorry I overshare here, but I've got some moles that my dermatologist says look like a yolk on a fried egg, like they're nice and contained and neat, as opposed to a dodgy-looking freckle.
No, that's a beautiful question, and I'm really glad you raised it, actually. So for pigmented lesions, so brown, like mole-like lesions, we've actually got a really simple step-by-step guide for patients, and it's called ABCDE. And the A is for asymmetry. Generally, moles are fairly symmetrical. So the more asymmetrical a mole is, where the two sides don't match, we'd be worried. B is for border irregularity. So again, natural, normal, benign moles should generally have quite a smooth edge. The C is for colors. Colors should generally be uniform or have an obvious pattern. They shouldn't be chaotic. They shouldn't be brown and red and white. And D is for diameter. So the bigger a mole is, the more interested we are in it. And the E is for evolution. So any change in it. Moles generally shouldn't be changing. It doesn't mean every change is cancerous, but if you spot one that you think is bigger, symptomatic, changing colour, that would prompt you to see the doctor. And for the other two types of skin cancer, BCC and SCC, it's even simpler, it's easier. It's any new skin lesion that's growing, bleeding, or changing that's not gone by 6 weeks.
What is the take-home message out of all of this?
Yeah, what I always say to patients is we can't really undo what's already been done, but we can certainly change your behaviour moving forward. So I'd say as long as you're wearing daily factor 50, you know, avoiding midday sun, still enjoying the sun, but taking measures to try and reduce risk, so rashes, hats, all of those things. And obviously, if you don't have access to mole mapping or serial photography, as a lot of people don't, it's still perfectly valid, safe, and actually standard to have a skin check with a doctor without some of those clever technological side hustles. And one of the other take-home messages I just wanted to share with people is that your moles are not ticking time bombs. Most melanomas, like 70, 80%, occur in a brand new skin lesion. So you don't need to look at your existing moles and fear that they're just waiting to turn to cancer. Only a much smaller proportion come from a pre-existing mole.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
We've learnt a lot, and we've also learnt that next field trip, you're the one getting naked, not me, OK? I'm sure we'll find the right activity, but anyway, that was Our Medical with Dr Ahmed.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Stay right there because after the break, we've got Aussie Rapper 360. Hey, look, I've got lots.
For 2 decades, 360 has been one of the country's biggest hip-hop stars.
But the road to ARIA's success and sold-out tours hasn't always been smooth for Matt Colwell, battling addiction and mental health challenges along the way.
But you can't keep a good rapper down. It's 360. Yo, yo, yo! Sorry, I had to do that.
Not really how it goes,
That's only my rapper move, you know?
I love that. Embrace the dad.
Thank you very much.
Tell us about your recent album. It's really very personal. Is that something that comes easy to you to share that much?
It didn't always, but as I think I grew as a person when I was going through sort of personal things, I found expressing it quite easily, because for me, I always felt talking about things to people really difficult, like I wasn't able to communicate what I was going through, but doing it through music always came quite naturally. So when I am struggling, it's almost like a bit of a blessing, because it gives me an opportunity to make a song out of what I'm going through.
And do you find that openness helps you with your recovery? Like
yeah, definitely.
In your songwriting?
In the past, I'd be like, oh, I'm clean now. Even though I was still struggling, I was trying to put on a brave face. But now it's like, I've just got to be completely authentic with where I'm at. And then people just respect that more, you know what I mean?
When you were in rehab, you didn't make music. Did you have any desire to? And how hard was it then when you left to get back on track?
It's a great question. When I got out of rehab, I thought I was going to hit the ground running and just be like, all right, we'll get straight out on tour. I'll have all this album ready to go. And it was just not like that, because after years, like it was probably 15 years of being like a psycho drug addict, having those drugs taken away, suddenly it was like I was just naked and like an infant child having to learn how to walk again. You know what I mean? And I started making music, but I found it was like I was petrified of putting it out. I thought it was going to ruin my career. It was like I was so used to just being insulated and isolated at home that stepping out of my comfort zone was just like, I was convinced it was going to kill me. But I made a commitment. However they turn out, I'm just going to release them, step out of my comfort zone. If it ruins me, fine, but hopefully it doesn't. And it didn't go nearly as bad as I thought it would, you know? It was, everyone really supported me. Was able to tour off it for a few years, and even that was very difficult because I had no drugs and usually used stuff to numb the nerves, and trying to do that was quite difficult and had to just relearn everything again.
So now what inspires you?
I guess wanting to show people that there's a way out of all that stuff, like especially the addiction. Like that was so nasty for me. I never thought I was going to get free from that, and to be in the position where I am now, where I'm actually loving making music again. I'm enjoying performing. Like I've never had more fun on stage without any drugs or alcohol and stuff like that. And it's like, to show people that there is a way out is something I'd love.
You're also back touring with longtime collaborator Pez, which I'm sure is fabulous, and you've got to say that because he's over there. That must be great, though, for you guys to be doing this again.
Yeah, it's been such a blessing. Like, we've toured extensively in the past together, and where we're at both in our life at the moment is like we've come full circle. It's been so cool. It's been so much fun. We
are going to have you perform live with Pez in the kitchen, so we'll let you head on over and get sorted out. We're so glad that you're here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, awesome. Can't wait to see this.
Thank you.
We should also get Doctor out here and Evie. Come on out. Come and join in the fun. Evie be a good rapper, I reckon. You'd be a great rapper.
Yay. Well, I think it's time for some entertainment now. You can catch 360 all around the country on his back and forth tour. Just head to his website. All the details are there.
But here he is now with Pez performing Broken. We will see you next time. 360.
Maybe time heals all the wounds, but not emotions. And I didn't mean to say the things I said when I was young. All these regrets in my heart, yeah, they keep me hurt.
You know, I never would have guessed a life rapping to bring, when it was something on the side that I casually did. It showed me people in this world won't be happy to win. Tall poppy syndrome is an actual thing. That spotlight's bringing me a different breed of hate. I didn't do well when you picture me in fame. There's been moments of happiness when in between the shade. Then I'm overthinking everything I didn't mean to say. Anytime you saw me on live TV was after 5 EBs and the lines we'd need to keep us going to the morning where we sign CDs. Have the energy to stay up at the heights we reach. Had to make sure you could never know the real me. Daily getaways, it was a mask I had. I want to start from scratch, but I can't go back. So stop judging from the past I had, because
I was broken. Maybe time heals all the wounds, but not emotions. And I didn't mean to say the things I said when I was young. All these regrets in my heart, yeah, they keep me up.
Yeah, for a moment the stars were all so aligned. Looking back at it now, man, it blows my mind. We went from playing to nobody at an open mic to shows to like 5,000 nearly overnight. It's funny when things begin to blow, how suddenly all these people start hitting up your phone. The same ones who used to think it was a joke and now begging for some tickets to a show. Started getting everything I ever desired. Instead of content, it left me feeling empty inside. I was finally a success in the eyes of the world, but in mine I was ready to die. I saw the devil in my thoughts, and my mind was in bed with a dark force. I can't tell you how negative life got. Well, I was caught in that time warp, fast forward, and I think I got used to the pain. Taking anything, man, I just used to escape till I was blue in the face. Nowhere, someone came along and stopped me from losing my way. I owe it all to the King of Kings and the miracle he did within. So any glory that I get now, just give to him. It made me change how I'm living, and I pray he'll forgive me for my biggest sins.
Cause I was broken. Maybe time heals all the wounds, but not emotions. And I didn't mean to say the things I said when I was young. All these regrets in my heart, yeah, they keep me up.
Woo! Yeah!
Hey, that was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Really beautiful. Thank you. Loved it. Thank you.